Romeo and Juliet is about acceleration. Two teenagers moving so fast, their lives end in a violent collision. They don't fall in love, they shatter. This destruction begins with the city of Verona itself. The older generation has cultivated a cankered hate, turning the streets into a toxic pressure cooker, where violence is the only available currency. Look at how easily the peace dissolves. A servant from one family bites his thumb at another, a trivial, petty slight. Yet within seconds, this microscopic spark radiates outward until the entire city is involved in a riot. The prince recognizes that the city is at a breaking point. He establishes a zero-tolerance baseline. Any further fighting will be met with immediate execution. The peace is now held together by a death threat. In a society this brittle and aggressive, any new spark is a death sentence. The environment is so volatile that the coming explosion is inevitable. Romeo's romantic pivot happens at breakneck speed. On Sunday morning, he is pining for a girl named Rosaline, claiming his heart is broken. By Sunday night, he has forgotten her name and is crashing a Capulet party. The encounter at the masquerade is a lightning strike. Romeo and Juliet lock eyes, exchange their first words, and before the sun rises, they have sworn to give up their families and their lives for one another. These nodes track a dangerously crowded trajectory from a first look to a marriage proposal in hours. Friar Lawrence sees this instantaneous transition. He hopes the wedding acts as a shortcut to peace, but instead it triggers a sharp descent into collision. The adults are trying to solve a decades-old systemic conflict with a single impulsive act. In their rush to fix Verona, they strap two children to a rocket and guarantee a fatal crash. By Act 3, the physical heat of Verona is stirring the mad blood. The sun-baked streets create a visceral tension that makes a violent encounter between the Capulets and Montagues a statistical certainty. The violence escalates in seconds. Tybalt provokes Mercutio, and before anyone can intervene, Mercutio is dead on the pavement. Romeo's response is a split-second betrayal of his new marriage. He abandons his vows of peace and slaughters Tybalt in a fever of revenge, choosing the ancient feud over his new wife. The consequences are immediate. The prince arrives and exiles Romeo from Verona, effectively ending the lovers' life together before their first full day as a married couple. The high-speed violence of the street fight is a perfect, tragic mirror of the romance. Both are governed by the same unstoppable momentum that leaves no room for thought. Juliet is now trapped in the after state. She is alone in her bedroom, forced to mourn a cousin who was killed by the husband she is now forbidden to see. Lord Capulet previously argued that Juliet was too young for marriage, but under the pressure of the family's grief, he turns tyrannical. He decides she will marry Paris immediately, whether she consents or not. Juliet's options disappear on this calendar. When her father forces the wedding date onto Thursday morning, it acts as a physical weight, crushing the time she has left to zero. Capulet makes the deadline absolute. If she refuses this accelerated marriage, he will disown her and cast her into the streets to starve. The true villain here is the speed of a broken society. Verona, with its ancient grudges and parental ultimatums, gave these children no time to breathe or think. The lovers didn't just fail. They were forced into a corner where survival was never an option.